You hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. He'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
All right, now, look at 56. Here we go. That's it now, Barney. No, check.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Detroit! All right, no.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Detroit!
And they're definitely showing blitz here.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But, hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. It's a gain of 17 that time, and it'll be a Dallas first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They're still in search of the first down after that last completion. Now they'll run it on the toss. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Ah, yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space heater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Taken right around the 44. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. They go play action here on first down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Throw here out of the gun to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense. But a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Two receivers left, one to the right.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they go screen, it's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Well, they do get 5 there, but it's not enough. And it'll be fourth down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the ball broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Well, the strategy was evident.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He connected on his first, this from 41. And this one is right through. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And the play clock's running down. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead to 11-3. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Though they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man on the out route. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Green 39! Green 39! Come on, let's go. No. Check. Patriot!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hey, watch the slant. Back to that Philly. Here we go.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down.
Leopard. Leopard. Wide. Get wide. Leopard. Check 3.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, there's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Watch left. Watch left. Watch left. Gun. 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 Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now back to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this is... situation with the lead fourth quarter. They're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Defense showing blitz.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Back to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
Hey. Got 3. All right, here we go. Put it down. Gun.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice.
Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing. All right, now, lucky under crush. Now, let's go. No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Detroit. Here we go. Detroit. 39. Gun.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 49 yards out. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's back to throw, and it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play here for Dallas. 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure it out.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They have the lead, still a 1-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Cuts it out. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in